always there. Today on One, your daily dose of local affairs and social media commentary. Today on One, rainy season brings 2 years of water supply for central Namibia. Ministry of Health receives donation towards the fight against COVID-19. City of Windhoek hands over certificates to volunteers. And Maneti weighs in on youth development in the country.
The Chief Executive Officer of NemWater, Abraham Nehemiah, announced that currently the 3 dams providing water to the central areas of Namibia have recorded enough water to last for 2 years as a result of the good rainy season. NemWater CEO Abraham Nehemiah, during a press conference, announced that NemWater has received better inflows of water supply into the 3 dams, which is the best they have had in 7 years. He also urged the public to take note that Namibia remains a semi-arid country and members of the public should always use water sparingly, as the dams might not receive good inflows of water in the next rainy season.
Rainfall for the past rain season was below average. However, NemWater received better inflow into the 3 dams, the best in 7 years. Currently, the 3 dams have enough water to last for 2 years. We nevertheless should note that Namibia remains a semi-arid country, and we should always use water sparingly, as we might not receive good inflows into our dams during the coming rain season.
Water engineer Jacobus Theron from the city of Windhoek assured the residents of the central areas of Namibia that there won't be any quality issues regarding the standards of water they consume from the Von Bach Dam, which is currently full of quality drinking water.
Now, currently we are in a very fortunate situation where the Von Bach Dam is full with good quality water. NemWater is not currently transferring water from Swakopmund, which is the possible, problem child, let's put it that way. So at this stage, we are in a very, very fortunate position that we've got very, very good quality water that we can just inject into the aquifer. Our challenges may start the day when we start transferring water from Swakopmund to Von Bach, and then obviously we will transfer that problem to Windhoek. But I don't foresee any quality issues. When we start transferring the other sources, we might have difficulties, and then we are forced to make sure that our on-site, because we do some on-site treatment before we inject actually, that those are in place and up to standard, just to make sure we retain our quality standards.
The central areas of Namibia relies mainly on the 3 dam systems, which are Omatako, Von Bach and Swakopmund dams, which are augmented with groundwater from Kombat, Bergaukas and karst boreholes via the Eastern National Water Carrier.
Make no mistake, we're in a fight. To protect everything that matters to us, to grab lost time, to celebrate the big days, the everyday. It's a fight to win back our world, so let's fight it together. The way we have for generations, let's practice healthy habits, because this is a fight that together we will win. Dettol, protect what's worth fighting for.
The Ministry of Health and Social Services acquired another batch of COVID-19 medical equipment from Old Mutual and the Turkish Embassy, all intended to aid in the fight against COVID-19. The Health Ministry received 60,000 surgical masks, 30,000 N95 masks and 20,000 medical overalls from the Turkish embassy. The ambassador of the Republic of Turkey in Namibia noted that the donation is a form of solidarity between the two countries in the fight against COVID-19.
The sad pandemic gives us a lesson to all of us that national competence and global cooperation are the must in fight of such disasters. This challenge makes it necessary for all countries to fight together. This is a time of solidarity. We are considering it as a duty to be a part of today's coronavirus global response. While we are struggling against this virus in Turkey, we also try to do our best for supporting all countries around the globe within the framework of solidarity. We will always stand by our friends. Today we are handing over to our nation, Namibian nation, personal protective equipment manufactured in Turkey.
Minister of International Relations and Cooperation at the event applauded the international community for the support they've given Namibia thus far in the fight against COVID-19.
Today I have the pleasure to witness the recipient of the generous donation from the Turkish government of medical supply and other essential medical supply to our Ministry of Health and Social Services to support our government ongoing efforts to protecting the health workers. While at this point, in thanking the government of Turkey for their response, I would also like to thank our Minister of Health under the leadership of Dr. Changula, assisted by the Deputy Minister and the ED and the whole staff, on the manner they are managing the COVID-19 in our country.
In addition to the Turkish embassy's donation, Old Mutual Namibia also handed over COVID-19 contact tracing equipment valued at 1 million, which is part of its 5 million pledge to help curb the COVID-19 pandemic.
We have considered this support package to help effectively fight the impact of COVID-19 in terms of testing capacity and effective tracing, isolation and treatment that could significantly contribute to the early flattening of the exponential infection curve. This, we believe, will alleviate the pressure on our limited health facilities. To capacitate the ministry's surveillance system capability based on the identified needs and prioritized needs at the national, regional and district level during and after COVID-19, we are pleased to officially hand over 35 Dell laptops and 37 Samsung tablets to the ministry. What is very important to this intervention is that post-COVID-19, this lead ministry will still be able to use this laptop and tablets to other disease outbreaks. And this will make data transmission easier in terms of using the laptop to capture data, keep the database, do analysis, and certainly produce output, while the tablets are specifically going to be used to capture contact tracing data in the field.
On receiving the donation, the Health Minister Kalumbi Shangula extended his gratitude towards Old Mutual and the Turkish embassy, saying that private sector and the international community are vital in times such as these, and that the donation will go a long way in addressing the shortfalls within the ministry.
Every time you swipe your Countdown loyalty card at OK, you get another reason to celebrate. Cashback, bonus savings, plus automatic entry to win your share of 250,000 cashback when you buy any participating product in the OK Countdown Cashback competition. These great deals are also worth celebrating, and you'll find even more in store. Save, swipe, and win with OK. Owners you can count on.
The City of Windhoek Mayor surprised students and volunteers that have been hard at work constructing the new informal market in Ngorengava with certificates, testimonial letters and food parcels. The City of Windhoek Mayor Francina Kahungu said that she is proud of the volunteers that saw the importance of this market and were able to work for almost a month without pay to complete this project for their community.
We are here so that we officially give you your certificate of appreciation in the presence of many witnesses. I am very, very happy. 21st of May, it started there, where that white car is, where the informal traders were very angry. This space was not as clean as it is. That one was occupied by many things. It was an issue of informal traders wanted a place to operate from.
Kahungu added that every volunteer will receive a testimonial letter to assist them in the future when seeking new employment.
Mr. Katuo, and we put the ID numbers, carried out community volunteer work under the office of the mayor within the city of Windhoek for the period 23rd May 2020 to 24th June 2020. During this time, Mr. Katuo was involved in the laying of concrete pavers and interlocks at one of our informal market sites in Okuriangava. Over and above his demonstration of selflessness through his dedication and participation in community volunteer projects in the city of Windhoek, he has gained valuable knowledge and skills during the course of the said project. My office, therefore, highly recommends Mr. Katuo with honesty. My office recommends with honesty for any position which his level of knowledge, skills and experience. Additional information, if needed, can be obtained by contacting Ms. Shefeni on the number given below. Yours sincerely, Mr. Redcliffe Kanjiromwini, Acting Chief Executive Officer.
The City of Windhoek Acting Chief Executive Officer commended the volunteers on their commitment and efficiency displayed during this project.
While you colleagues were working, I will call you colleagues because you were working with us, and you were really dedicated. I was here when we donated some of the food parcels, and I came to see, and I couldn't believe my eyes. This structure that was standing there unutilized for years, and now it's here in its original state at this place. Look at these interlocks. I can't believe it, man. And it's coming from not contractors paid a lot of money there, telling us they can do the work while our own people can do the work, members of our own community. This is true dedication. You are very exemplary. You have set a very good example for the rest of our communities.
Kahungu added that communities that stand together can improve their livelihoods together.
Share with us on #LearnOn1. Tell us what you're learning and where you're learning it from. Send us your name and town to the One Africa TV's WhatsApp on 081 200 6659 or send an SMS to 555. One Africa TV. It just gets better.
Former Brave Warriors coach had a successful stint with the national senior soccer team as he led them to a first international trophy in 2015, winning the COSAFA Cup. Today on One Sports caught up with a charismatic coach as he weighs in on the importance of youth development in a player's career on course to being a professional. Renowned former Brave Warriors head coach Ricardo Manetti described youth development as a foundation for senior coaches to build and develop players into professionals.
The rest of the world, when they talk about youth development, they talk about an everyday thing. With us, it's still very stop-start. With us, it's still 2 days in the week, which for me personally is not enough. A 10-year-old boy, 15-year-old boy, they need to train more. They need to get more focused and specific training, and to make sure that technically, they repeat certain skills, certain techniques, etc., to prepare them. So at the moment, obviously, academies, what they are doing, it's very, very important. It lays the foundation for senior coaches like us. I don't think we've done enough. I think we must do more. I know if you look at the circumstances, obviously it's very difficult because we have infrastructure problems. So if you run an academy and you have from under 11 or under 9 all the way up to under 17 or under 19, how do you go about in terms of the infrastructure? There's only one field, and you have to squeeze in all these age groups during the week. So it's very, very difficult. So that I understand, but we need to take hands as the football leaders or sports leaders and say infrastructure is the thing to concentrate on. Because once you have the infrastructure, you have the programs, and then the boys will obviously benefit from there. We're on the right track, but we need the infrastructure to intensify the training.
Manetti added that the country has not emerged in international competition due to the inconsistency in local league football, lack of infrastructure, and the issues faced in the administration offices.
We cannot have no infrastructure and we want to qualify for the World Cup. It's not possible. And then someone will maybe argue and say, but what about West Africa? West Africa, they don't do the development in their specific countries. All their players come from Europe. While we're on the qualification topic in terms of World Cup, the league cannot stop randomly and the way it wants, and when there's politics, then the game is stopped at any given time. That is also not helping the cause. So we need consistency within our constitutions. We need consistency when it comes to us playing year in, year out. There must be consistency with that. So we still have a long way to go. The past 5 years, we've stopped the league twice. And that's your Premier League. And if that is stopped, it stops basically the development of a player. It really pulls that player back, while leagues are not being stopped unless it's covered in Europe. So they are really, they have some consistency when it comes to that. So there's a lot of things that we need to first fix off the field before we talk about qualification on the field. And for me, qualification is never just on the field. It starts off the field. It starts in the boardrooms, starts with government, starts with the association, and the players respond accordingly on the pitch. And then we will qualify.
Manetti was recently invited to do a presentation on the role of a youth coach with the comparisons to the role of a professional coach.
We always love to hear from you. Send us your views, comments, and videos with your name and town to the One Africa TV's WhatsApp on 081 200 6659 or send an SMS to 555. One Africa TV, it just gets better. In other leading stories, the Global Status Report on Preventing Violence Against Children calls for more government action and warns of dramatic impact of COVID-19. According to the report, half of the world's children, or approximately 1 billion children each year, are affected by physical, sexual or psychological violence, suffering injuries, disabilities and death because countries have failed to follow established strategies to protect them. In Namibia, the Demographic Health Survey 2013 notes that 31.5% of girls aged between 15 and 19 have experienced physical violence since the age of 15, and other research indicates that 1/5 of all learners reported to have been physically forced to have sexual intercourse. 1 out of every 10 to 14-year-old has experienced one or more forms of sexual abuse. Although Namibia has put in place legislations such as the Child Care and Protection Act 3 of 2015, the Combating of Domestic Violence Act 4 of 2003, and the Combating of Rape Act 8 of 2000 to protect children, particularly from violence, funding towards the implementation of this framework is still challenging. Rachel Odede, UNICEF's representative to Namibia, noted that UNICEF will continue working with all partners to ensure that more vulnerable children and women benefit from integrated child protection and justice services. This also means increasing public awareness of violence and the devastating toll it takes on individuals and families.
Welcome to Comments Corner, your daily dose of local comments from the hottest social media pages. Government plans to reopen the borders of the country next month for a trial-run initiative aimed at reviving the heart-stricken tourism industry by COVID-19. Industry representatives say an influx of travelers could lead to an increase in infections and loss of lives. Tobias asked what should come first, whether it is the lives of the people or tourism. Kambani is disappointed that they plan to open the borders while Erongo is still under a lockdown. Featuring said the industry workers should simply remain at home. Festus said perhaps they want Namibians to lose their lives. 2 students took it upon themselves to contribute money out of their own pockets for children's winter items. Petrina was amazed by the act of kindness. Maria said if she has clean clothes, can she also give them to people? Kalista said this was a good initiative. Fear said this is what he expects from the youth. Unona urged the students to keep up the good job. And that is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast every day only on Today and One.
Praat jy van hulle wel? Moet jy van hulle? Wees jy wat dood is? Wat is sy naam? Wat gaan aan? Praat! Dit was Rikus. Hy was jou pel. En jy het my gedruk om geld op hom te sit. My eie neef. Dit klink of Rikus dalk nie per ongeluk in die rivier beland het nie.
Ek het jou gesê. Waar is hy dan? Wat gaan aan, Chris? Waar is my seun?
Hulle dink hy is vermoor. Bel die polisie. Ek het 'n moord gepleeg. Doen dit!
Wat is die ergste wat kan gebeur? A life sentence vir my.
Nou, met jou. Dat gaan nie so.
Papa, in terms of like a case, so Zanda popped in one of her centers.
So this would you help?
A look at the weather forecast. First, an advisory from the Windhoek Met Office. Frost is expected at places over the southern, central and eastern regions tomorrow. Please do take the necessary precautions. The Namibia interior mostly sunny and cold to very cold in the south, central and eastern regions. Elsewhere sunny and mild to warm. The coast, fog patches at first, otherwise partly cloudy and mild, and the wind light to moderate southerly, becoming fresh later. Now we look at minimum and maximum temperatures across the country and beyond.
Difficult, but not impossible.
I'm not a regular Joe. All these people know the old me's gone and dead like yesterday. I'm about to blow. Somebody clear the road. It's my moment, and I'm not letting go. I'm gonna rock you, rock you, rock you till you can't rock no more. I'm gonna rock you, rock you, rock you till you can't rock no more.
It's about time I rock. Been stuck in the dark too long, it sucks. So God, please hook a man up.
Life at the bottom ain't fun, got a son that's young and I hate to seem starved. Wish I could spend more time, but this grind got me grinding, dip in the mud. Digging for diamonds, smiling, trying to get my rap on course. Just wanna see my family ball. Maybe then we could all be involved. Right now we apart and it's breaking my heart. Wish I could take it back to how it was. Back when it was all about love. Now we all grown up with jobs and it's us, cause there just ain't no love.
Is the biggest African and international news stories. Focus on Africa.